A very good morning to you and welcome to our Rugby World Cup update brought to you live from England. Today the ABSA Red Bus, ABSA, a member of Barclays, is parked inside of Campbell Park. Campbell Park has been the venue for Milton Keynes' fan zone, and it's a fan zone that's going to be closed down after this weekend, but it really has brought the community spirit here in Milton Keynes. Absolutely fabulous to be here. South Africa's quarterfinal opponents are confirmed. It's going to be Wales after that brilliant match against Australia. Australia winning it, and the commentators said it was the most entertaining trialist match, and it certainly was. We had the Australian coach Michael Cheika say that of the quarterfinal that's coming up for the Welsh team, that they will make their country proud. I wonder what's actually going on in the Springbok camp and what the sense is now that their quarterfinal opponents are actually confirmed for that match on Saturday at Twickenham. Let's find out what's happening in the Springbok camp with our camp correspondent Simon Burke.
So the Springboks will be playing Wales in the quarterfinals of the 2015 Rugby World Cup at Twickenham. And as is typical of every Springbok team ever, they're giving nothing away in terms of the opposition. They say, according to the coaches, they're focusing on themselves.
If you look at their backs, they got game breakers all over the park. But we got Damien and Jesse gelling nicely as a combo. Andre Pollard on the inside, Fourie, obviously one of the leaders in the back line. Brian, obviously a leader as well. But we got a lot of confidence in our own ability as a backline, and we showed over the last 3 games that 4 games we can score tries. Just pleasing to see Brian scoring his hat-trick on the weekend. On Wednesday. But I think from a backline point of view, there's always challenges, and I think next week won't be any different.
In my long coaching, you've been in many situations. You know, you've been in situations where you've won every game and then you've lost the final where it really counts, or you've lost a few games and you've scraped through and you finished 4th and then you've won the 2 knockout games. You know, it's about winning what's in front of you, and you know what we went through with the Japan game certainly gave us a focus and a hard edge, and I think self-evident by the way we've played the last three matches.
The one silver lining is that the Springboks say they've been playing knockout rugby ever since that loss to Japan, and that's going to serve them well going into the quarterfinals. I'm Simon Burke, bringing you the latest from the Springbok camp.
All right, thank you very much to Simon Burke as we continue this broadcast from Campbell Park in Milton Keynes, where our ABSA Red Bus is parked. Let's check in with the news and see what is some of the other tournament news. Of course, it was a massive clash last night, so that has had an effect on the Wales team. But before they played the game, the Wales squad received the most illustrious visitor yet on Friday when Prince William wished them luck ahead of their final pool match against Australia. The camp has been visited earlier in the tournament with the presence of superstar singer Tom Jones and former world boxing champ Joe Calzaghe. I wonder who's been visiting the Australian squad. Maybe they can pay the Springboks a visit too. In other news from the Wales camp, Scarlet's wing Liam Williams and Harlequins centre Jamie Roberts departed in the dying stages of Wales's attempts at a late fight back, and that fell short. Coach Warren Gatland said Williams' foot injury appeared to be the more serious than Roberts' head knock. They will face South Africa in the quarterfinals at Twickenham on Saturday, and Australia will play Scotland at the same venue the following day. A big clash today in Pool D. It's been more than 4 years since France last beat Ireland. Little wonder that coach Philippe Saint-André was quick to suggest that all the pressure will be on Ireland for today's match. There are 2 unbeaten sides and they'll take centre stage later on today at the Millennium Stadium. Ireland coach Joe Schmidt said, "I'm not so sure about the pressure on us. After all, it's not us who can choose from 13 or 14 top professional clubs." We say with that clash and a preview of it, Conor O'Shea, the Harlequins director of rugby, does not think it is going to be a pretty game. So Ireland had better be prepared to front up against a big and physical French team. We'll have more from our Rugby World Cup update in a short while. Stay with us. World Cup update, which is being brought to you live from England. Where are we? Well, we're in the city of Milton Keynes, known for its concrete cars, its roundabouts, and I must say it's really been a very entertaining visit that we've had over the last couple of days. Yesterday we did a preview of the Samoa-Scotland match, and all you could hear here at the fan zone was these beautiful bagpipes. Let's recap on the results from yesterday, because the hosts also played their final pool match and they won it. England ending their Rugby World Cup 2015 campaign with a 63 victory over Uruguay. Samoa going down only just. What an entertaining match though to Scotland. That secured Scotland a place in the quarterfinals, where they'll go up against Australia after Pool A was decided when Australia beat Wales 15-6. This is how the pools end up. Already Australia and Wales had qualified, but it was to see who actually would be at the top of that pool. Australia, they topped the pool, 4 wins out of 4, a total of 17 points, and they are looking very, very good for your money if you're a punter, of course. England, Fiji and Uruguay, their Rugby World Cup campaigns are concluded. In Pool B, South Africa and Scotland are the 2 teams that are confirmed to go through. Scotland now go through courtesy of their victory over Samoa. Japan, they have done 200% better than their previous Rugby World Cup performance as we speak. They're going for a 3rd win today. They'll be up against the USA. Argentina face off with Namibia, as Namibia would also like to finish their Rugby World Cup campaign on a high. Italy face Romania, and France against Ireland in that Pool D decider as to who finishes at the top of the pool. What can you enjoy on SABC 2? Well, tune in at 3 p.m. for the Italy-Romania match and 8:30 p.m. on SABC 2 for the USA-Japan match. Here in Milton Keynes, there's lots of very interesting things to do. You saw yesterday we were at the action sports and entertainment venue, the Escape. Now there's something else that's very interesting to do here, and that is going to the theatre. Now the Milton Keynes Theatre is a theatre that opened back in 1999, and they've had a number of famous plays come and actually put on their performances at the theatre. They've had Wicked, they've had The Phantom of the Opera, they were also world premiered Top Hat, and they've had a number of famous actors actually on their stage. Priscilla Presley, as well as Sir Ian McKellen. So there's a number of people that have actually performed on the stage, and just a couple of months ago South Africa's very own Lady Smith Black Mambazo also performed on the stage, and she just did one show there with the International Dance Company, and it was an absolute sellout. So I decided to also go and visit the theatre. If you stand on the stage, from the ceiling to the floor is 23 meters, and what that means is that you could fit 5 of our ABSA red buses on top of one another before you actually hit the ceiling, although I'm not quite sure that the South African crew would be able to deal with all of that mileage. It's amazing to actually be here at the Milton Keynes Theatre, where the auditorium sits up to 1,400 people, and I love theatre, and I've got some favourite lines, but as luck would have it, as soon as you get onto the stage, you can't remember any of them. What's that? It must be Alex, the flyman. It's actually bad luck to whistle in a theatre. Why is that?
It's because in the olden days, flymen used to be retired sailors, and they would communicate by whistling to lower and raise bars. So obviously if they're dropping something and somebody gets underneath it and they've not whistled, then they're going to get hit. But as a result, it's bad luck to whistle in the theatre.
And there's another saying that comes from the theatre, dropping like flies?
Yeah, dropping like flies is when the bars just suddenly drop without weight or without warning, and it's nothing to do with blue bottles. When a bar moves towards the stage, it doesn't go down, it's known as going in. And when a bar flies up towards the grid, it's not going up, it's going out. So if someone's on stage and wants a bar to their level, they'll shout for a bar to be flown in. And conversely, when they're finished with it, they'll ask it for it to be flown out. When you put a piece of scenery on the bar, if the scenery weighs 55 kilos, you put in 55 kilos worth of weight. It's like an old-fashioned greengrocer's scales. That's literally it. It's not complicated. Whatever's on the bar has to go in the cradle. If you have too much in the cradle, the bar will want to rock it out. If you don't have enough weight in the cradle, even the strongest person won't be able to move it.
And that's a wrap. It's absolutely brilliant theatre is the Milton Keynes Theatre, and really a cornerstone of the community here in Milton Keynes. They were very instrumental in actually getting the theatre built. They petitioned in making sure that it actually did break ground, and then it finally opened in 1999. And part of its success is the fact that people supported it so well. It's an amazing venue. Something else that is iconic here in Milton Keynes, and you won't believe it, but it's concrete cows. Yes, they were created by Canadian-born sculptor Liz Lees, and they're really an iconic piece of sculpture here in this part of the world. Mac Messina paid them a visit.
Well, in this beautiful town called Milton Keynes, and one of the big tourist attractions in this place, it's these concrete cows. And then all the time when there's World Cup soccer or World Cup anything, people tend to talk about animals who will be predicting the scores. Well, we've decided to chat to these cows today. Moo, do you think the All Blacks will win the World Cup? Do you think that the Australian will win the World Cup? Well, the last question now, Moo. Do you think that the Springbok team, South Africa, will win the World Cup? Moo has spoken.
Oh, Mac Messina, he's just been a bundle of laughs. Yesterday he went out to do a story on the Milton Keynes Rugby Club, whose nickname is the Zulu Warrior. He ended up reffing the game. The ref got injured in the middle of the game, and somebody said, "Hey, you're a former player, why don't you get onto the pitch and actually ref?" What did he do? He got boots, he got socks, and he actually got on to referee the match for one of the veteran teams. I'm sure we'll be bringing you some visuals on that story in tomorrow's show. And that's when you can join us again as we bring you another Rugby World Cup update live from Milton Keynes. Otherwise, tune in to SABC 2 at 3 o'clock today as we start the build-up to the Italy-Romania match, an important match for one of those teams to secure third place and by virtue automatic qualification for Japan 2019. It's going to be a very entertaining encounter. Until we meet again, goodbye.